What's good, troopers? There is finally some new content on the horizon for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and it's about bloody time, because let's face it, a majority of us couldn't really get involved in the Galactic Legends. I still don't have the opportunity to even play for one yet. I'm getting there, but I've got something a lot more exciting that has just been announced in the latest State of the Galaxy post. So let me get up on screen. There it is right there. Mandalorian content is coming to the game. I know Cub just broke that they had the little the thumbnail in the Google Play Store and the iOS Store for Mandalorian. It's got Mando's picture there. And that caught me by surprise. I was live on Battlefront 2 with Tally over on twitch.tv/TinyTally. We were doing some Battlefront and that came out. And immediately I was like, oh wow, are we finally going to need those Jawa developed like a lot of people have been speculating? But it doesn't seem to be the case. We do have other characters from the Mandalorian show confirmed as coming into the game. They're starting off with Greef Karga and Cara Dune, which is great. These are two characters I was only just speaking about maybe a week ago as really, really wanting in the game. Who doesn't love Apollo Creed, right? And Cara Dune, been a fan of her since her MMA days. They've already actually got some artwork here. They've got a sneak peek of her model, as they say, and that looks pretty good. The face looks good, the hair looks good, the outfit looks good. So props to CG on this one. The art department's come through here. I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed. Do they actually say anything about their kits? Let's have a look. They wanted to capture his calculating nature as the boss of the Bounty Hunters Guild for gameplay side of things. He's going to bring some support to the attacker heavy Bounty Hunter squad. Brilliant, because let's face it, the Bounty Hunters have been missing something for a long time. When their kits first got kind of revamped around one of the, I think it was Darkside Territory battles, the original Hoth one, I think. They really started to kick, and that there was lots of options, lots of playing around, theory crafting that we could do with them, but the power curve has left them behind. Let's face it, their kits are now very, very dated, much like the Empire and other factions like that. And they're just not holding up anymore. They're very, very easy to beat for a full 60 banners or a 61 banner in Grand Arena. So new characters were needed or reworks, and it looks like new characters are what we're going to get. They've been experimenting with him interacting with Bounty Hunter payouts as a fairly potent leader for the squad. And they're still working on final details. So I'm guessing the kit isn't completely sorted yet. But the fact is, we're finally getting him, and I'm so excited for this. I've already seen the Mandalorian's first season, absolutely loved it, and I was really worried Capital Games are kind of going to miss out on this. We never got Inferno Squad for Battlefront 2, and a lot of people really wanted that. The game had an incredible hype. So I was a little concerned they were just going to completely ignore it. They did nothing for Jedi Fallen Order either, but it looks like they're actually doing something for Mandalorian, which is great. And Cara Dune, a personal favorite of mine, always loved Gina Carano. She's fought as a shock trooper during the rebellion and for the New Republic till she reinvented herself. So what are they going to do with her kit? Let's have a look. No question she can hold her own. As far as her role, she's being shaped into a tank for the rebel squads. That'd be pretty sweet. Also for scoundrel teams. And I'm liking that because the scoundrel faction really isn't all that fun. It's pretty much, I mean, once you take Han and Chewie out of it, that kind of takes two of the best elements out of it, and you're going to need them for Rebels. So that's really, really cool to see. Perhaps she will end up interacting with them. I mean, when it comes to the scoundrels, you could do something along the lines of, I don't know, maybe with L3 or L3 or Vandor Chewbacca combined with Han and Chewie and her, and then you could stick, yeah, well, just Luke really, because he's a rebel, right? You could just simply stick him as leader still and actually really strengthen that squad. There's a lot of theory crafting ideas that are already popping into my brain here, and I'm going to end up getting sidetracked on the video if I sit here too long thinking about it. But it looks like she's got some anti-Empire flavor to her kit. I don't think we really need that right now. Empire are not exactly any good. They're very, very dated in themselves. But I suspect we're probably going to end up with some Empire focus as well. If we're going to start getting stuff that's in this era that's going to play into the Rebellion, then without a doubt, obviously you've got to kind of tune up the Empire. They probably have one of the most dated kit collections in the entire game. I mean, they're not really beating anything outside of Series C level teams these days. I mean, Palp's got his uses because you can run a shock train and a stun train, but really they're not that good overall. But yeah, Cara Dune looks great, and I'm really excited about that. But they also say last, but certainly not least, big picture of Mando here. Hoping we're going to get something for the child as well, Baby Yoda. That's got to be something that's very easy to monetize, I'd imagine. The Mysterious Man, a few words. works as a bounty hunter on the far edge of the galaxy. No one really knows where he came from. Blah blah. Yeah, they're just kind of talking about him in general there. It looks like they're gonna be teasing us in regards to Mando. So I imagine a lot of us that are big fans of the show are gonna end up panic farming. This is one of those things that, as long as there's going to be some good content coming with the game, like some events and such, that I may end up breaking my free-to-play ways, because I just loved this. I absolutely loved this, and my channel's in kind of a position where I can actually spend a little if I really want to, in order to deliver more content for you guys. So next month, since we've shifted the road ahead schedule to accommodate the lead up to the Galactic Legends and the update, and the bigger plans of the quarter for the next title update, they're going to be celebrating the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, it sounds like Empire and possibly some Rebel reworks or something going along in there, along with these new additions, these Mandalorian additions, who already, as Cara Dune has, interactions with Rebels and anti-Empire flavor. So there's real potential here. And it looks like, even they said it's going to be an action-packed quarter, and I really hope that is the case. The game has been very dull, and although they've just given us that new content with the Galactic Legends, obviously only a certain top 1% have actually really been able to take part. All the people that listened to me, because I didn't take my own advice, and actually farmed Resistance and First Order very early in the year, and got them ready for any potential content. I didn't take my own advice, I didn't do it, and I'm still playing catch up, which is something that always happens to me. I just don't take my own advice. But while I have you here, because obviously, as great as this Mandalorian content is, and I mean, I don't know if we can rule out Jawa entirely. There's a possibility that they may have some sort of role in these events that are coming. We may even get a new one to reflect the ones that Mando came across during the TV show. But if I was a gambling man right now, I don't think Jawa are really going to be involved the way many of us did suspect. There were quite a few videos made. I started farming them myself, though I didn't actually make a video. I did speak about it, and I was asked a few times about it in streams. So yeah, I would say we probably don't need Jawa. But I don't think I'm going to stop gearing them at the moment. They're a fairly useful team anyway. As I was saying, while I have you here, before I get too sidetracked again, there was something else that nobody seemed to cover. It was about a week ago, I think this came out. There's a new test program coming to Galaxy of Heroes, which is great. I've got my fingers crossed for this. I'm hoping it's going to be a good program. We've seen some extended betas and such before, and unfortunately what kept happening is people were bloody leaking things. They were leaking things, and then Capital Games, obviously, they don't want unfinished content to be made public. Not only does it ruin the excitement, would it affect the bottom line, but it also doesn't reflect what's actually going to be coming. I know that from working with various game developers. People don't really like broken, unfinalized kits and artworks and stuff to be public. So I hope anyone that does get into this takes it seriously, because these are great programs when they work well. I've been a game changer since 2017. I think November I got brought in. And I was also part of one of the beta test program that got taken away from us all way back. And if this is anything like that, then this would be a real treat for people. We had access to the next updates and builds 2 or 3 weeks ahead of them going public. We were able to help find the actual bugs, test the mechanics, give feedback, and prevent broken stuff going into the public build. And that is something this game sorely needs. A lot of these updates that have been coming out have been subpar, they've been riddled with bugs, there's been strange interactions that were not intended, and in general, that a lot of them have just been a bit of a mess, really. And this should, in theory, prevent that. It won't prevent all of it, because it's only a small test group. You know, when you got 50 people testing, you're gonna still miss 1 or 2 things compared to when you've got 100,000 people testing. Some strange mechanics won't get spotted or just won't even appear. So I'm hoping people take this seriously, and I'm hoping CG really vet to make sure they get some smart people in here, people that are very good at actually theory crafting and able to find the issues with these teams, and not just need their handheld and want to see things super early. You're going to get people like that anyway, obviously, because it's exciting to see new stuff, right? I totally get that. But I'm really hoping they bring in a lot of people that will thoroughly test and have the time to do that. Because obviously these aren't paid test programs, and a lot of us, we're still working, and it takes time to do these things. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best from this program. I hope nobody screws this up. I hope CG really clamp down on any idiots that do try and wreck it for people and ruin the fun, and that this will become a strong positive for the game going forward. I always like to think positive. It's very rare I sit here and just rant about the game. I don't like spreading toxic vibes in the community. I think there's enough of that going along in videos and in forum posts and on Reddit and on Facebook and Discord. You see that everywhere. I like to try and be the guy that tries to look for the positives, although I'm not blind to the negatives, obviously. So that's the news. That is the news for now. We have Mando content 100% confirmed, not just bloody speculation. This is the kind of stuff that I like to report. And top off, two of my favorite characters in The Mandalorian. I was really worried we wouldn't get Carl Weathers' character. I was really worried we wouldn't get that, but I did like his character. I found it interesting. I love Carl Weathers, and I'm very, very excited to see him come into the game in particular. So yes, let's look forward to this, guys. Let's start getting our minds together and figuring out how this Mandalorian event is going to work. He's got to be a legendary or something, hasn't he? He's got to be. Till next time, troopers, we out of here.